Hello there, good morning officially from me, and this is the AM News. First in the news, the National Concerned Small-Scale Miners Association of Ghana has pushed back mountain calls for the government to declare a state of emergency on all forms of mining activities. During the launch of its task force in Kumasi, the association described such demands as a lazy man's approach to dealing with the illegal mining menace. And as well cautioning that it could only create fear, disrupt livelihoods, and undermine ongoing interventions in the mining sector. Nanaya Obwachi has more in this report.
National Small-Scale Miners Association has unveiled a task force with the aim of complementing the government's existing anti-Galamsey interventions. President of the association, Michael Kokode-Nwamase, says the task force is to complement existing government efforts in tackling illegal mining.
The task force are members of our association, and we have mandated them to go on the various water bodies to make sure that any person who is found on the water bodies mining with impunity will be cleared from these various places. More so, when the media is talking about illegal mining, they box small-scale miners and illegal miners. One, there's a distinction between anybody who is engaging in illegal mining and somebody who has acquired a license to mine. The methodologies are different in the sense that somebody who is mining on the belly of a river has never been licensed to mine. So we are going to inaugurate this task force to make sure that anybody who is on this water body is being cleared off.
Michael Kokode-Nwamase says the task force will work closely with state institutions to monitor mining activities, sensitize communities, and promote responsible small-scale mining practices.
We are in the communities and we know where these people are. And in so doing, the task force will work with the media so that people would understand the need to make sure that the people who are on the various water bodies are being cleared off. Because when the pressure comes, people always box small-scale miners and illegal miners. And that is what we want to let the country and guests to know, that small-scale miners are Ghanaians who have acquired their license and they are mining in the frame of the law. So anybody who is being seen mining with impunity and destroying our various water bodies, this task force is mandated to make sure these people are cleared off.
Meanwhile, the debate on the declaration of a state of emergency on Galamsey operations has intensified in recent weeks as CSOs sound the alarm at the destruction of forests, rivers, and farmlands. The small-scale miners group, however, emphasized that a state of emergency could lead to heightened security crackdowns without addressing the root causes of illegal mining, such as unemployment and weak enforcement of mining regulations. According to them, such measures risk stifling legitimate small-scale mining operations and derailing progress made in the sector.
We don't support the state of emergency in the sense that it's a lazy man's approach. In 2017-2019, the previous government initiated a partial state of emergency. That is the time Ghana became the leading producer of gold, and that is the time people were in the forest reserve mining with impunity. At the end of the day, the military that were sent to go and help in salvage the issue were accomplices in that situation. Ghana is not in a dire situation. And as a matter of fact, these things can be resolved. One, by using the peer review system. Small-scale miners are going to be the watchdogs in the various communities. And by using the bottom-up approach, we can at least make a better impact in this Galamsey problem.
For JoyNews, Nana Bochidanko Yadom, Kumasi.
Now, the mounting public pressure demanding more radical government action against illegal mining is beginning to pay off. Lands and Natural Resources Minister Emmanuel Amakofibua has announced that government will be declaring forest reserves and water bodies as national security zones. He, however, fell short of indicating when or if a state of emergency will be declared as demanded by anti-Galamsey campaigners. And there's more in this report.
Lands and Natural Resources Minister Amakofibua added that the decision to declare water and forest reserves as security zones marks a major shift from previous interventions and signals a tougher stance in the ongoing battle against environmental destruction.
I think the president has given us a very clear answer to that. The government has the power at its disposal to take steps to deal with this. And I think that if you had listened to me comprehensively, one is the policy reform, one is the stakeholder engagement, one is to deal with the water, one is to strengthen enforcement. All of these things that I'm talking about, why did we establish the Blue Water Guards? And now, just in the last week or so, the president has made it very clear that we are moving a step that says that all the water bodies and the forest reserves are going to be national security zones. You know what that means? It's red zone, no go. And we are now preparing to deploy permanent security forces in these areas.
While this has fallen short of a declaration of a state of emergency, which has continuously been demanded by CSOs and other bodies, other officials of the Mahama administration have backed the calls. CEO of the Environmental Protection Authority, Professor Nana Ama-Kluche, is one of them.
And in all of these things, as Erasmus said, for me, it has to go. We have to go radical. And it's not as if we don't have what it takes to go radical. We do have what it takes to go radical.
So what is preventing?
Let me give you one simple example. Right. You see a site on the screen now. If you have an airplane, a military airplane, fly there and shoot one or two, will they come back tomorrow? Will they not tell the other people, other miners in other sites that this is their approach and they should flee for their life? They will. So we've had election, which is a democratic election, and we've got 8 people died. Some died without records and all of that. If we are really at a war, can't we do this example for people to scare off the mining sites?
Civil society groups will be closely watching how this new policy unfolds, given the economic and political interests tied to Galamsey.
Also, the president of the Pharmaceutical Society of Ghana, Dr. Samuel Kokode-Nwamase, has raised fresh alarm over illegal mining, warning that the menace has now escalated into a national health emergency. Speaking at the 89th annual general meeting of the society in Cape Coast, Dr. Kokode-Nwamase cautioned that contamination of water bodies from Galamsey activities threatens the integrity of locally manufactured medicines, putting Ghana's pharmaceutical sovereignty and public health at serious risk.
The 89th annual general meeting of the Pharmaceutical Society of Ghana, PSGH, came off at the University of Cape Coast on the theme Strengthening Pharmacy for Primary Health Care. Addressing the official opening ceremony of the meeting, the president of PSGH, FAM Dr. Samuel Kokode-Nwamase, recognized illegal mining as a threat to primary health care, noting its impact on pharmaceutical sovereignty.
Illegal small-scale mining and its accompanying environmental devastation is undeniably affecting the health care of many individuals. Waterways contaminated with mercury and cyanide, lead, copper, and various heavy metals. These environmental crimes have severe health consequences, including waterborne diseases, dermatological disorders, respiratory illnesses, and heavy metal poisoning. However, the impact of Galamsey extends beyond immediate health concerns to threaten our pharmaceutical sovereignty. Ghana currently depends on 70% of its medicines from imports. The locally produced medicines provide quality water for production, especially infusion manufacturing. When our water treatment plant shuts down due to Galamsey-related pollution, we would face a catastrophic scenario. And we will not only import our medicines, but we would completely collapse the pharmaceutical industry, local pharmaceutical industry.
Gracing the occasion as a special guest, the Omahin of Ogwa traditional area, Osaberima Dr. Nana Kwesiata II, acknowledged pharmacists as frontline responders, reiterating the impact of illegal mining on the health of Ghanaians.
We cannot gather here to talk about health and ignore the ongoing devastation caused by Galamsey. These illegal mining operations are not just destroying our lands and water bodies, they are compromising the health of generations. The destruction of our lands and the water bodies through illegal mining is no longer only an environmental crisis, it is a health emergency. We cannot continue to fold our arms. We ask the government, traditional rulers, myself, environmentalists, healthcare workers, and indeed all of us to come together and fight this canker.
The Central Regional Minister, Kokode-Nwamase, representing President Mahama at the meeting, noted that community pharmacists will be integrated into the country's healthcare delivery system.
The government, therefore, pledges to create more opportunities for the recruitment, training, and deployment of pharmacists across the health system so that no community is left behind.
From Cape Coast, Abigail Lissel in Nkrumah reports for JoyNews.
Africa takes a bold step into the future as Accra plays host to the very first Pan-African Artificial Intelligence Summit. Leaders, innovators and policymakers from across the continent are gathering under one roof to explore how AI can transform economies, create jobs and sharpen Africa's competitive edge on the global stage. The summit was just not talk as well. It was about action, collaboration and shaping ethical AI solutions built for African realities. There's actually more in this report coming up.
Africa takes a bold step forward as Accra hosts the maiden two-day Pan-African Artificial Intelligence Summit. For the first time, leaders, innovators and policymakers from across the continent came under one roof to chart how AI can transform economies, create jobs and give Africa a sharper edge on the global stage. On the final day, one of the organizers, Felix Donko, highlighted the positive impact AI could have on Africa's youth, emphasizing the opportunities it presents for innovation and problem solving.
We are preaching to young ones here in Ghana and also Africa in the diaspora that the technology that is actually surfacing, they have to embrace it. They have to want to be part of the new advancement that is coming. They have to upskill themselves to understand and make sure that they know what this can do for them and to take them to the next level of their careers.
The summit also featured leaders like Carlos Amwako, CEO of Alpha Factor Technologies, urging African youth to not worry about funding. He reminded them that across the continent, institutions are ready to back innovative problem-solving ideas. All that's needed is vision and creativity.
So, first and foremost, there are a lot of incubators around. There's a lot of information on the internet. There are a lot of companies willing to sponsor. The whole thing is making sure that you have a great idea. Find a problem and solve it.
The two-day summit concluded with a fierce pitch competition showcasing innovative AI solutions from young Africans tackling real societal challenges. Emerging victorious was Efia AI, taking home a $1,000 prize for their groundbreaking AI project aimed at addressing misdiagnosis and underdiagnosis of COPD.
We're solving the misdiagnosis of COPD in Ghana and underdiagnosis. Currently, Ghana is very expensive for somebody to be able to diagnose if you have COPD or not, and it's expensive for the average Ghanaian. So we are providing a solution that does that anywhere in the world and anywhere in Ghana.
So my grandma has asthma and it's a respiratory disease, and I was just looking at how I could come up with a solution which can help her. And along the line, I came across this disease, COPD, and I realized that it's actually more underdiagnosed than asthma.
With the two-day Pan-African AI Summit now concluded, Africa has showcased its talent, innovation and vision for the future. The summit has made it clear. For JoyNews, Maxwell Kwesi Akloboto's report, read to you.
Now, the Office of the Attorney General and Ministry of Justice has revealed that many public sector institutions do not follow due process in managing public service contracts as required by law. The Solicitor General, Helen Ziwu, made this known at the opening of a 3-day capacity building workshop for 26 lawyers from the 16 regional commands and the headquarters of the Ghana Immigration Service. The training held at the service's newly commissioned ultra-modern Center of Excellence in Accra aims to equip participants with modern approaches to public contract management. Mamavi Sefakote has more.
26 lawyers from the 19 regional commands and the headquarters of the Ghana Immigration Service have gathered at the service's new Center of Excellence in Accra for a 3-day capacity building workshop to sharpen your skills in public sector contract management. At the opening session, Solicitor General at the Office of the Attorney General and Ministry of Justice, Helen Ziwu, noted that most public sector institutions fall short in complying with due processes in contract management.
I'm talking in respect of the entire public service. If you're an MDA, you are required under CA6 to submit all contracts and agreements to the Attorney General for review. So it is a requirement of the law. And over the years, we have experienced that they do not go through all the due processes. Especially when it comes to the procurements, they do not. When it comes to negotiating of the agreement, some of the clauses are badly drafted. So we thought that it's an opportunity to share our experiences and also take them through the rules and the laws of procurement as well as contract drafting.
The Controller General of the Ghana Immigration Service, Samuel Basintali Amadu, explained that the workshop is essential to equip the service's legal team with modern tools to meet changing global standards.
Ghana Immigration Service as a public institution engages in a lot of contracts. Most of our partners are international in character, and we mostly have agreements and memorandums guiding our operations and dealings with them. All these require legal inputs. This is the simple reason why there is the need to update our lawyers across the country in current trends in contract management, contract drafting, entering into treaties or whatever you will call it.
He also touched on the repatriation of ECOWAS nationals residing in Ghana, outlining measures the service is putting in place to regulate their stay and ensure compliance with immigration policies.
Every day we hear Ghanaians complain that our country is flooded by ECOWAS nationals. Yes, the ECOWAS protocols allow them to reside and establish here. It is crime that we need to check. If they are involved in crime, once we apprehend you, on a daily basis, we repatriate not less than on the average of 50, 60 ECOWAS nationals back to their countries. Niger, Nigeria, Mali, Burkina Faso, Cote d'Ivoire. Some of them are even involved in illegal mining. On a daily basis, we repatriate them, but we don't have to come telling you that, hey, come and listen, today we are sending this much. No. We are doing our work.
The 3-day workshop is expected to sharpen the skills of the service's legal team, ensuring greater compliance in public sector contract management and strengthening Ghana's immigration framework. Mama V. Sefakote's report for JoyNews.
Well, the Food and Beverages Association of Ghana is warning of possible increase in prices of goods on the market following the decision of the Public Utilities Regulatory Commission to increase electricity tariffs by 1.14% for all consumer categories effective October 1, 2025. Speaking to Joy Business, Chairman of the Food and Beverages Association of Ghana, John Awini, said businesses will be forced to pass down the cost to consumers in order to support the cost of doing business.
It is obviously going to lead to higher prices. Come first week of October, go to the Makola market, not only our food and beverage, but go to Makola, go to Madina, go to Malata. Tomato prices will go up, onion will go up. They will tell you that, oh, Oma to power. That's all what they will say. So essentially, the whole, in fact, businesses haven't recovered from the previous shocks of the happenings of the previous government. So if businesses are not trying to recover, more especially right now, we have the cedi depreciating against the major currency, particularly the dollar. These are losses that we are making. And so with this kind of losses, we expect that we don't expect any cost to come in again. And that is our challenge now.
Now, the Association of Ghana Industries, AGI, says it is stepping up its support for small and medium-sized businesses across the country. Speaking to Joy Business at the African SME Network for Exchange and Trade in collaboration with GIZ, Director of Finance and Administration at the AGI, Nathaniel Kwakupome, and noted that empowering SMEs is key to driving long-term economic transformation.
The AFNEX event, organized in partnership with GIZ, brought together key players from across Africa to explore opportunities for trade, investment, and collaboration, especially among SME. According to the AGI, targeted support for small businesses will not only enhance competitiveness, but also create jobs and drive innovation across various sectors.
So this project has been very successful, very largely successful. And it's a project that has actually helped 57 SME companies, which we term as beneficiaries of this particular project. So we've actually structured the project in such a way that it's quite very transparent, opened online for companies to actually apply, and they've gone through the very vigorous processes of being selected.
Head of the Ghanaian SME component at GIZ, Eunice Japan, said the GIZ will continue to support the sector.
The AFNEX project is supported by the German Ministry for Economic Cooperation and Development, and this is implemented by GIZ. The project itself was also implemented by the Association of Ghana Industries. Now, GIZ decided to come on board to implement this project, one on the basis that SMEs contribute significantly to the development of Ghana.
As Ghana continues its push towards industrialization and inclusive growth, strengthening the SME sector remains a top priority, and AGI says it's ready to lead that charge.
And that's how we wrap up the business update, but we'll check up what's happening on the commodities market. After that, we'll bring you the AM Sports.